Good morning and happy Sunday. Blimey, it's early. Welcome to London Luton, welcome to Aviators TV. I hope you're having a lovely weekend. Lovely to have you on board this morning. We are doing flight number 2 in MSFS 2024 this morning. And we are going to take the fly-by-wire A320 Neo out of Luton on a long old trip down to Sicily this morning. I hope you're having lovely Sundays if you're here in the UK, and I think most of Europe. Blimey, the weather is gorgeous. Just look outside, it really is like that. So I hope you've had a chance to enjoy the sun, and hope you've got a lovely Sunday lined up. We've got a long old flight today, it's about 3 hours to get down to Sicily, so we're going to not spend too much time chatting on the ground. We're going to jump into the aircraft in a second and start getting ourselves all set up for our departure down to Sicily. We're at the beautiful Innibills, London Luton. Look at it, it's absolutely glorious. It's pretty quiet here today. We've got one other EasyJet in, he's heading over to Geneva. And we've got no ATC. I imagine we're going to have very little ATC for this early morning trip out today. Do come and say hello in the chat, do give us some company. But we are going to go ahead and start getting things set up straight away. So, we are going to start. Let's just go and get everything set up on the fly pad. Not signed in on SimBrief. Okay. That's something we should have thought about doing earlier. Let's see if we can get SimBridge to connect quickly. SimBridge was connecting earlier. Okay, well we shouldn't need it. I do usually go and try and do some setup first, but didn't have time to do it before this one, so let's try and just get ourselves, find our SimBrief user ID. I'm pretty sure that's that. Is that all we need? And we'll turn both of those, we'll just turn the payload synchronization on. That's a bit painful. Alright. Is that a clickable link? No. It's also not a copyable one. Okay, let's go and just scan this QR code. See if I can link it through my phone. Help if we knew our password apparently. Okay, what did we set our password as then? Okay. Alright, well we won't do that then. Let's just see. That gives us enough for now. So, we can use charts in Navigraph, so that's not too much of an issue. So let's go. Make sure our payload has been imported. Now, if payload sync, I'm assuming I can just request boarding, and it's gonna correctly load the aircraft in the same way. Let's see how that goes. I'm going to have a look outside. We're loading through steps today. This is quite an interesting little stand to be at. If I show you, on this beautifully modelled airport. So obviously they run down 60, which is one of the kind of little out of the way, not quite a main stand. Shame we don't get any traffic coming up and down this road, really. Right. So stairs are loading on. We won't attach the pushback tug. We won't board the crew. Let's see how well this works. Where are people? Are people going to come out this door, I assume? Or, oh yeah, there's our guy. Let's see what happens. Wouldn't it be awesome if the doors opened? Okay, well that integrated nicely. Well, that's our baggage cart just arrived. That's going to be a slow load with one baggage cart. Anyway, okay, so that has worked. Awesome. Alright, well while that's going, let's go and get ourselves set up. Welcome to all 5 of you, welcome aboard the channel. We are just boarding now for our flight down to Sicily. Hope you're having lovely weekends. Well, let's go and start plugging in our information. So we'll head to the edit page first. We're going to fly from London Luton to Catania. Okay. Our alternate is, I can't remember what it's called. It's not Palermo. I want to call it Palermo. It's whatever the other airport on Sicily is. We are easy 4-1 Romeo Yankee. Cost index is 10 today, and we are cruising at flight level 370. Right, why have we ended up not on Unicom? Let's get ourselves over to Unicom. Right, let's put us back onto Unicom. We can go and pop in our winds, so we can get them from the OFP, which is here. 134 at 18. Oops. Still learning my keybinds on there. 18. The one thing I did do before this flight was calibrate the throttles, so hopefully that will be working okay. Or math error. Okay. Let's try 134 at 018 at 10,000. No, doesn't like that either. Try it 100. Aha. 136 at 27. 200. Why isn't that 2 clicking? Obviously got to hit exactly the right spot. And at 310 we're 150 at 31. 150 at 31 at 310. Cool. And our cruise winds, so let's pick a random, and we'll pick 224 at 14, looks about right. What was that at? Was that 370? Good. And then our descent winds, so we've got 309 at 68. I assume this can all be imported nowadays. I quite enjoy putting it in myself. 308 at 45. 8 at 45. Flight level. These things are hard to click. 200 and 314 at 20. 314 at 20 at flight level 100. So that's our winds inserted. Let's now, we'll go and pop in our flight plan. So we are departing from runway 07. Why do I have no SIDS? Where are my SIDS? Do I need to put in the waypoint first? Try popping. Not in database. That's weird. Why do I not have any flight database? Is it because SimBridge isn't working? Okay, let's just try. Can we... Is there a request flight plan? No, it has to be in the company route. Okay. Right, this might be a short experiment. I'll quickly see. Well, that's odd. What's it trying to access then? I don't think I have an obvious fix for this. Let me just check my data. No, it's not in there. So it's got some data in. It's picking up Bovingdon. Didn't recognise Rodney. Let me just try any other waypoint. What's my next waypoint? Ictam. Let's just try a random one that is old Compton. See if it recognises it. If it's just not picking anything up. So it knows Compton. 07. No SIDS available. Okay. Alright. I'll tell you what. We're gonna cancel this. I was gonna say we'll go and do Gatwick Heathrow Ground, but somebody's just logged on. Let's just go and sit on Gatwick for a while instead. Okay, we'll end flight. Let me change the name of the stream. And we'll go and do some tower controlling, because I don't understand what's happening. We don't have a good Gatwick in 2024, do we? So, we'll come out of there. I'll have to load up 2020 in a minute. Let me go find Euroscope. Right, we'll switch. Let's switch views in OBS. We'll go Euroscope view for the moment. close Volanta. Let's get audio for Vster. Test, test, test. Okay, that's fine. Alright. Let's go ourselves connect. Why can't we connect to Vster? Call sign in use. Somebody just logged on bloody Gatwick. Frickin' hell, man. Today ain't my day. Yeah, somebody's just logged on Gatwick Tower. Where can we go? Someone on Edinburgh Tower. Someone on Heathrow Ground. Alright, we'll go on Stansted. No, Kyle. We tried to do that flight, and for some reason the fly-by-wire loaded and just had no nav database whatsoever. So it could input any waypoints, couldn't input a SID. I'll tell you what we could do. We've got a tiny bit of time. Let's just go to the Navigraph. Let's make sure we've got SimBridge downloaded, which I assume I get from the fly-by-wire installer. I didn't delete that. There's a fly-by-wire installer. Let's check we've got SimBridge. I wonder if that's what caused it. I thought we'd installed that because it was trying to load its window, but we'll reinstall SimBridge. We then tried, Kyle, to go on Heathrow Ground and somebody logged on just as we were going onto it. Then we tried to go on to Gatwick Tower and somebody logged onto that just as we were going onto it. So, all in all, we are having some pretty shitty luck today. So I think what's happening is the Navigraph data is not loading correctly. Let's have a look at MSFS 2024. So we've got 2503. We can update that. And then this doesn't say that we need to install to the fly-by-wire separately. Let me just have a quick look. So fly-by-wire A320X route data not available. MSFS 2020. This is like a spoony debug stream. Right, that's SimBridge installed, which we should have done anyway. We'll give it one more go, just in case that fixes it. If not, I don't really know. We can go on Stansted, I guess, but I'm not super keen. Right. MSFS is just loading. The one thing I will say, Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 on a good computer doesn't half load a lot quicker than it used to take. I tried to load this like half an hour before the stream, because that's how long I'm used to it taking to load the sim. I was in within 5 minutes. There's 8 of you watching a black screen right now, which is a bit hilarious. So we're clearly not going to be Gatwick Tower. I'm not going to change the name of this stream until we know what we're doing. Right. We will make the very first thing we do trying to set a route, and we'll see what happens. You can all enjoy watching the intro video. If not, I guess we could just go in the Ini builds 320 Neo. But I was quite excited to try out the fly-by-wire. quite a few people flying out of Stanny. Just doing a tower at Stanny wouldn't be the end of the world. How's weekend been, Kyle? I'm not going to start shouting for fuck's sake, because there's people asleep in here still. I'll watch the pretty lady go and get in her helicopter. I'm tempted to give career mode a bit of a try and just see what it's like. And see if it is actually this glorious. I want to see that specific deer. Yeah, it's been alright. I did parkrun for the first time since my surgery yesterday, which was nice. I did the first kind of 2k with my partner, who then wasn't feeling too good, so she pulled out, then went off and did the final 3k myself, selfishly. So that was nice, and then did a late Mother's Day yesterday. Cooked for my mum, who has not yet reported that she's got food poisoning, which I take as a success. Right. Out of interest, how busy are things? Heathrow's not busy enough to need a delivery controller. We could go and try and learn some Manchester ahead of Manchester and cross the pond, I guess. I would have preferred to have read its procedures before I did that, because I've never tower controlled there. No, the sky is not the limit, but our navigation database is. Hi Welsh, how you doing? And John, hello, good morning, how are you? We are having a bit of a nightmare. So we've attempted to load in a flight in the fly-by-wire and failed miserably. We then attempted to go on Gatwick Tower, and as we did it, somebody had just logged on, so we couldn't do that. So we're just gonna see whether... Let's see what the thing I probably haven't done is actually... Does SimBridge just install, or do I need to... I'm guessing I need to do something to install it. Just have a quick look. SimBridge. It says it's used for optional features, which doesn't make me super expectant that this is going to have fixed it. So I'm going to go from Luton. What? That's not Luton. What on earth have you just taken me to Hawaii? EasyJet Hawaii ops inbound. Right, we're on stand 60. Go. When did it get cloudy? Okay, while that's loading. Hey Spoonie, I'm having a Ustream. This is going atrociously. I think SimBrief only gives you, SimBridge only gives you the terrain stuff as well. I don't think this is going to have fixed it, but I've updated the Navigraph data as well, in case that does it. Well, why aren't you subscribing, Spoonie? tell you off by text because you can't hear me. Come on. I was just bragging about how quickly you loaded. You're showing me up. Sure. Why didn't your subscription play an alert, Spoons? Thanks for subscribing, though. Right. Okay. Let's just go and see if we can get any route data. I have got audio on the overlay. Did the little credit card thingy come up? Right. So before we do anything else, right, active nav database 2503. That seems like what we would want. So we're going Luton to Catania. Let's just make sure that this has pulled through our sim brief data. Yep. Our alternate was wherever the hell that is. We're easy 4-1 Romeo Yankee. Cost index 10. Cruise 37,000. Now let's just go and see if we can put a flight plan in or not. We want departure from runway 07. Hey! Okay, right. Crisis averted. In that case, let's get ourselves back onto that sim. Let's go and get GSX boarding. Right, well, that was a whole load of hoo-ha. Does that mean I'm doing better than Spoony? Yes, brilliant. 2025-03 I feel like was quite a big ARAC update for one of our local airports. I just can't remember which the hell one it was. They introduced new procedures at Gatwick. I remember that. Spoony, do I have audio on the flight overlay? Yes, I did have audio on the flight overlay. Right. So, now that we think this is working, no, I don't want the pushback tug. No, I don't want crew. Let's go and do a little bit more setup. So, where had we got to? We'd put our SID in. So let's finish putting the route in. I'm not going to make you keep flicking to and from the fly pad. I think that's pretty annoying. So I'll just get it from SimBrief. So after Rodney, we're going to November 27 to Ictam. My worry is with everything that's gone wrong this morning, that this is just setting me up for something to go wrong later. Quebec 63 to Compton. Hello? Perth to fly-by-wire. I not put in multiple lines at a time? Quebec 63. Airways. Quebec 63. Airway waypoint mismatch. I get this right. Go back. November 27 to Ictam. Quebec 63 to Compton. Sod it, such a short route. Compton. You gonna find it? We're going direct Midhurst. That one. And from Midhurst, Upper Lima 612 to Agulo. What? Lima 612? Oh, come on. So we're going to have to put in every waypoint manually. Okay, we can do that. Let's find Navigraph. So, Ictam, Compton, after Midhurst it's Bognor. Benbow. Then Hawk. Zamab. View. Impacts. Vresme. This is getting us ready for doing long hauls. Odebu. So this is better work. Agulo. Right, we're into the directs now anyway. Agulo. Akazi. They do say they don't support it in MSFS 2024, I guess. Akeko. Whatever MOU is. Madiv. Mockip. Tufter. Kogas. Madame. That one. This must be fun to watch. Nitam. Must be nearly there. Mogbo. Back row. Gidio. Amano. Oh, we're nearly there. Vakor Pellan. Vakor Pellan. How's Formula One then, guys? Buxata. I haven't got to see any of it this year. Finally, McLaren have come good. And then our rival, we're going to do the ILS 08 Zulu. And we want Buxata 1 Quebec. Via Nason. Which is a big old, long old arrival. Right, we'd better have a look at that in plan mode. Let's put constraints on.
Luton Airport information.
Oh, shut up.
Zulu. Wind 079er at 9er. Visibility.
At 9er.
Sky condition clear. Temperature 8.
Bye.
Dew point tree. QNH 102400. ILS runway 7 in use. Land.
Thank you. Right. Luton out. On to Compton. And then we've got a weavy taking us in. Cool. Some nice Mount Etna dodging. Right. That looks good. Let's put that back into arc mode. Right. Spoonie's still in bed. What are you doing in bed, Spoonie? It's 9:37. We are nearly at 1,500 followers. If anybody who's watching at the moment isn't following, please do drop us a follow. We'd love to get up to 1,500 followers. It'd be a huge milestone for us. What haven't I done? I haven't put the winds in. Should we go and have a quick watch of people boarding? I love this Innie Bills Luton. It's phenomenal. We'll have a look at the trailer for Innie Builds LAX when we're in the cruise. I like the guy operating the stairs. I'd never noticed him before. Out of interest, this is quite a cool little place to be parked, I think. Like, you get quite a funky little view out the front. Enjoyed it here. This is actually where the last Catania flight departed from on Wednesday. Right, winds. Let's go and get our winds. Flight over 100, 134 at 18. 134. I've got a strange sense of deja vu putting these in at 100. I wanted to get going quickly because this is a long flight. 136 at 27. Oh, I need to rename the stream, don't I? Or has Spoonie done it for me? Spoonie's not done it for me. Right. Pre-departure. Oh, I'm just going to call it departure. 5-hour A320 in MSFS 24. Luton to Catania with guise. Take 2. Road to 1,500 followers. Right. Okie dokie, right, that's sorted. So I'll go away. 146 at 28 at 350. 146 at 28 at 350. We'll get some cruise winds. So we used MOU, so we're going to be 224 at 14. And then in the descent. We are 309 at 68 at 310. We are 308 at 45 at 200. How's your S2 prep going, Spoonie? 314 at 20 at 100. Right. I can't put this in just yet because we're still boarding, so we'll give that a minute. And while we're waiting for boarding to finish, let's have a quick departure briefing. You're on adverts. No, you're not on adverts.
Boarding completed.
Oh, we are completed. Well, let's do the departure briefing anyway. So we'll have a look. First of all, just at the airport. Let's pop Navigraph up on the screen. So let me zoom in a bit for you. So we are parked up here where Bravo and Echo meet. We're expecting a 07 departure today, so in the absence of any ATC, we're going to push back to face south.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, on behalf of myself,
we're going to taxi down Bravo.
I'd like to take this time to
Let's let the announcement play.
We're just wrapping up some paperwork up front here and waiting to receive final numbers from the ground crew, then we'll be on our way. Flight attendants will be coming through the cabin shortly with a very important safety briefing. We do ask that you give them your full, undivided attention as they review the safety operations of this Airbus aircraft. We do appreciate your business having you aboard this flight. If there's anything we do to make your flight any more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask. Welcome aboard.
Thank you. So we're going to push back to face south. We're going to taxi down Bravo all the way to Bravo 1 for a departure off 07. We're then on our Rodney 1 Charlie departure. So we're going to climb straight out until we get to just under 4 miles from Luton, and we're going to do almost a 180 all the way around onto a 256 degree heading. Initial climb is 4,000 feet, and then our Rodney departure is limited up to 5,000 feet because we cross, you can see Bovingdon just underneath the departure. So Bovingdon, Heathrow arrivals coming in from kind of North America, Canada, come into Bovingdon limited at 6,000 feet. So we've got to stay underneath the Heathrow arrivals until we get all the way over to Rodney, and then we'll start our climb as we head over towards Compton. So, with us being pretty much ready, first of all, I'm going to close Euroscope. Euroscope has hung. There we go. Right. Let's go and start a couple of things on the overhead. So let's get our beacon on. Let's start thinking about getting the APU going
Flight
up.
attendants, arm doors, and cross-check.
We're going to set, that's here on this one. We're going to set this to 4,000 initially. Let's go and have a look at the checklist in the flyby. So cockpit preparation, gears, pins and covers are removed. Fuel quantity has been, so let's check this actually has done the fuel. Oh, it hasn't. Okay, let's put, for this, let's put instant refuel on. And we'll try that next time. So, fuel quantity is set. We need to go and get seatbelt signs on. They set to auto. ADIRs are aligned on that. Barrow set 1023. So we should now be able to go. Oh, shut the hell up! Why have you done that? I'm sure I've got that assistance turned off. Can you tell I'm not enjoying this flight so far? Right. We need to go and fill in our init B. Not allowed, okay. Our fuel is... It's not my
Luton
one.
Airport information. Uniform 0800 Zulu. Wind 079er at 9er.
Right. Why are you doing that? AI radio comms off, ATC enforced flight plan off. It wasn't doing that before, so why is it doing it now?
Visibility 6.
I swear to God, you
condition
need to
clear.
shut up.
Temperature
Reconnect to Vster.
8. Dew point tree. QNH 102400. ILS runway 7 in use. Landing and departing runway 7. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All air.
If somebody knows why it's doing that, that would be appreciated, because I thought I'd turned everything that would cause that off.
Keep for traffic 387 outside vacation runway 09.
Right, that's our fuel set. There's a performance calculator in the EFB, isn't there? Oh. Okay, calculate. Is it not telling me my flaps setting? Am I missing something? Do I just have to guess? Is it because it's not got weights in it? Okay, we'll just guess one, I guess. So we'll go 1, I don't know. I always used to use down 0.2 in the fly-by-wire. Flex temp 64. Transition altitude is right. 133, 133, 136. Alright, that's that about all set up. We should be able to go and get APU start on now. We're going to get the fuel pumps on. Go and have a look at our next checklist. So before start checklist, parking brakes set, takeoff speeds and thruster both set, windows are closed, beacon is on. Before start checklist complete. I feel quite discombobulated by all of this. It's been a stressful start. Right. Spoonies S2. Getting moaned up to request B2 again, won't be given any more solos. Oh mate, I'm sorry. Are you still got a solo at the moment, or are you having to do without it? APU's available. Yeah, APU bleed on. We've come off Unicom again. Let's just check. What setting do I need to change? AI ATC options are all off under number keys are bound to the ATC window, could be doing it. Right, it might be a keybind. Options assistance, delegate ATC to AI. Options assistance piloting. Let's just check that quickly. Options assistance piloting. I don't have a delegate ATC, I don't think. I've changed it, right, okay. I think it's a keybind. So we'll try and just stop pressing number keys by the sounds of it. We'll also try and find that. Let's reconnect again. Cool, we're on Unicom. Is that what did it? Yes, that's what's doing it. Right. Okay. We need to stop using Alt F1. That's a bit annoying. Does Control 1 do it? Don't use Control 1. Okay. Let's take that. Let's set that to Alt 2. Now you've changed again. So we go Alt 2. Right. Fingers crossed. Alt 2's not changing it. Oh, what a palaver. Remind me what B2 is, Spoon. Is that the mock for the real thing? Okay, I think we can actually start looking to go and get going. Let's just find... I make sure... Right, the forward door's shut, so let's close that. Don't have chocks or anything on. We do have ground power unit on. So we can go and disconnect that. And we can disconnect the ground power of the GPU. And I think that we are pretty much ready for pushback. Let's just have a quick look on the overhead. The APU's on, everything else is extinguished. Yeah, I think we are good to go. Let's go GSX up. Let's just make sure we've not got any ATC online. No. Let's prepare for pushback. We're doing that, we'll go and look. Alright, we've done all our checklists. Oh, I've done it again. But it didn't change it. Having more time to practice is a bad thing. Why did they, as in, they think you'll start developing bad habits? I know it's us. Right. Just when I think nothing else can stop working, why isn't Volanta finding me? There we go. Right. Is Volanta working? We want to go nose right. Luton traffic. Easy 41 Romeo Yankee pushing stance 60 to face south. Luton traffic. Blimey, am I on fire? Right, we'll go engines to ignition, we'll start engine number 2. Let's get our ground spoilers armed. Not sure if that's worked or not. Double check. Okay, my keybind didn't work. Parking brake set. We'll go set on to system 1, predictive wind shear on, what's that? TCAS to 2000, auto, the traffic above, traffic advisory for now. That's not. We'll set flaps 1. Oh, come off it.
0800 Zulu. Wind 069er at 11. Visibility 6. Sky condition.
I'm going to assume I just pressed the wrong button again. I'm going to have to find that keybind though. We'll go auto brake to max. I think practice is good as long as you've got a mentor kind of checking in with you now and then. We'll get engine number 1 starting. While that's starting, let's see if we've got any nice camera views available. I rather like that one. Right, let's confirm good engine start. We can go APU off. We can come out of ignition mode. After start checklist, anti-ice not required. Go and check out ECAM status is normal. Pitch trim, we said we were going to go down 0.2. Rudder trim is set to neutral. I think it was earlier. Yep. Rudder trim's off to chart, checklist complete. Okay, I think we are pretty much ready to go. Let's go and get our taxi lights on. Luton traffic, easy 41 Romeo Yankee taxiing holding point Bravo 1 for runway 07, Luton traffic. Make sure there's no ATC, Heathrow's got a tower, we don't care about that. Still on Unicom. We can, in that case, release our parking brake. See if she still starts rolling herself. No, she wants a bit of help. Right, why aren't we moving?
Traffic, Ryanair 809FB, established island 4.
Right, this happened with the Unibuilt one, and I had found a way to fix it. We don't have any chocks on.
Traffic heading 197 so clear by 09 left and you're off the flight level 360 on the deck due to get departure.
Okay, something is stopping us though. Let me just check. We've got the keybind on the brake. Let's try that one. Yeep, no, no, what? Fuck off. Okay, well, we're rolling. Jesus. My brake's not doing anything. Fuck my life. That was the throttle. Trent did that. Let's go back default Airbus. Okay, well, I guess this is why we do test flights. Let's get ourselves back on that sim. Oh, are you now not going to go anywhere? Oh no, you are. I calibrated my throttle, so why does it think I'm in climb? I don't know if I can reset that. Okay, we'll go auto brake to max. We're going to test the takeoff config. Apparently we won't. Takeoff config normal. I'm trying to remember, I think that's the one. To notify the cabin. Oh my god, these brake is in overdrive. Tiny squeeze of the brake and you just go down to 0. Jeez. How on earth do you, like, break this thing normally? It's got to be, I assume, a setting. But
Sun Express 84 Romeo, taxi into runway 04, standstill traffic.
Luton traffic, easy 41 Romeo Yankee lining up runway 07, then Rodney to Charlie departure, Luton traffic. Just going quickly, lights on. God knows what it thinks I'm doing. Set the parking brake, set the chrono. We didn't do our checklist because we were kind of panicking. Flight controls are just about working. Flaps are set to 1, radar predictive wind shear is on and also. Engine mode is set as required. ECAM memos, takeoff no blue, cabin's been notified as ready. Taxi checklist complete, line-up checklist, takeoff runways clear on both sides, TCAS is set, TA, PAX we don't require, line-up checklist complete, we'll go and change TCAS to TARA. Alright, let's see what we can do. Not feeling super confident about this, so I'll release parking brake, throttles to 50%. Stable. We don't have man flags because it thinks we've taken off. It's going to be novel. Knots, it's V1, rotate. Positive rate, gear up. A little bit high. Telling us to come back to climb, so let's do that. Engage the autopilot. Not going to engage the autopilot. We'll go flaps back to 0. Ground spoilers back.
Sun Express 84 Romeo, line up runway 04 and take off standstill traffic.
Well, this cloud is a bit odd. Definitely don't have that at Luton. We're on live weather. Yeah. Not convinced by that. It's flying this turn nice. Oh, it's shot way through. Fucking hell. Oh, we haven't got the auto throttle armed. That's why. Jeez Louise. Thanks, Spoony. This is one of the worst flights I have ever done. I've lost the keybind for my... I have a keybind that should have set the autopilot on the auto throttle. So I assume we can reset that. So we need some serious work on the fly-by-wire before we fly it anymore, I think. We can have a little look outside anyway. We can climb up to 5,000 now. Yeah, fair enough. This has been... It's taken me an hour and a quarter to get airborne when I said I was going to get out quickly. Sim does look beautiful though. See what other camera views we've got while we're... I never liked that one. This one I like.
Shuffle 4 holding at flight level 150 en route to Manchester.
Is he actually holding? Right. So we're 5,000 feet across to Rodney. Got somebody not far above us. Let's see if we can see them. There they are. that didn't work. Who was that then? Was that some radar saying? It was a Lufthansa, no, a DHL 777. No, it wasn't. I take it back. That was a Virgin A350 going into Heathrow. So, I don't know what was going on the ground that caused us to get stuck. Let's just go and start our climb. I want to get out of it. So I had an issue with the INI A321neo where I had to bind the throttle on the TCA side stick to a brake scale, so that when, like, you had to put it on the equivalent of full throttle to get the brake to go fully off, which was a bit weird. The shame is I really like the fly-by-wire, so I'd like to get it up and running. They've been very quiet about MSFS 2024 support. So I'd love to have it running in 2024, because I do think it just feels nicer than the INI builds one. The INI builds feels like a feather. Like, it's great for a default aircraft, but it's not perfect by any means. And I kind of just like the fly-by-wire a little bit more. So I'd love to have it running properly in 2024. We need to go to stand. But it's just, it's not quite like running the way I want it yet. I don't know. I imagine most of this I can work through and get sorted properly. Go and get our lights off. So it's still saying I've got landing lights on. So which of those is it considering my landing lights? No, it's gone. I'm strongly resisting going back to MSFS 2020. So this is very much either the fly-by-wire works well or we use the INI builds 320 neo decision at the moment. suspect we're not going to have any ATC all the way down to Italy, because France and Italy don't tend to come online too much. I thought it would be nice though, so Catania is right down in the foot of Mount Etna, so the approach that we do takes us kind of zigzagging round the mountains for the ILS for 08. So it should be a nice approach, if we can get our flight down there successfully. Right, well, we're climbing successfully now at least. That's thrown me off completely, I'm afraid. All that difficulty. If we could have got on Gatwick Tower, we'd have just done a Gatwick Tower controlling session instead. Let's go and get the seatbelt signs off. Let's get our range switched up. I think that's probably it. Oh no, there's no after takeoff checklist. Fine. And we are now successfully heading for the south coast. In a minute we'll have a watch of the Anybuild LAX teaser and see what we think of that. I don't know why it thought Luton was so cloudy, because I'm 15 miles from Luton and there ain't a cloud in the sky. I don't think we've had a cloud in the sky for about 3 days. Thank Gatwick over there that you can see out the window. Where is it? Far south are we? It ain't Farnborough. We're too far over to thought for it to be. Could be Heathrow, given the angle. It does look a bit more like it. Must be Heathrow. How are we doing? 260. Say goodbye to the beautiful United Kingdom. We're just crossing over Midhurst, so kind of Brighton way, I guess. We will shortly be crossing. I'll go and start loading up. So that's ready to go. I was planning a nice Stansted trip yesterday things got away, so we didn't have the time to make it. If we had have gone, it was going to be a Smurfs coloured Sky Express 737, and that would have been damned exciting. Take a look and see if we can see Gatwick now. There's Gatwick. I'll show you quickly the route that we're taking now that we're getting up towards cruise as well. So let me just put on world map so that you can see it a bit better. Let's have a look on Navigraph. So route today, you can see we're just about to cross over the south coast, and then we're going to head down. We're going to pass just to the west of Paris, so we should get a nice view out over Charles de Gaulle and Orly. And we head all the way down across France, and then see if we can recognise any of the cities we go through after Paris, or any of the airports. No, don't recognise any of those. And we make a left turn here. We're should have a nice view across Lake Geneva as we get towards Switzerland. I don't think we ever actually cross quite into Switzerland. We should just stay within France and then cross over around here by the Italian border. That's Turin there, I think. Yeah, there's Turin that we go near, and then cross over over to this. It's supposed to be the Mediterranean, and then head over. Is that Corsica? What's that? I don't know what island that is. No, that must be Corsica. So we fly sort of between Corsica and the Italian mainland, right down the west coast of Italy. We've got there's Rome, and then past Naples, down into Sicily. And as I said, was this zigzaggy arrival into Sicily, into Catania that we make. You've got Mount Etna, it's just to the north of Catania Airport. So we kind of zigzag here to make sure that we're avoiding the mountains before we do an ILS approach into Catania. So it should be a pretty one. Bye bye United Kingdom. So if you're watching adverts at the moment, unfortunately. Spoon, you're going to put a nice little... I'll put it in. Is it just add? No, I don't do anything. What's the prompt so that people don't see adverts? Anyway. So, as we cross over the UK... I used to live down there. You can see my old house. Somewhere there. I used to live in Eastbourne. Let's go and have a look at where we're descending to. There's land. Don't think that's Sicily though. Not enough people care about watching me to be worth turning me into a proper streamer, Spoonie. No, I take it back. That is Sicily that we can see in front of us. When I move and am properly set up, then we'll move to a dual monitor setup, and that will at least help. So yeah, timing is unknown for when we'll be able to do that. But we are morning, Surly. How you doing? We are approaching, hopefully, being able to have a dual monitor set up and start getting the equipment set up a bit more nicely in a slightly more dedicated room. So, Sicily in sight, descent underway. How's Surly's weekend been? Why does Surly have a Gone Bananas badge? Let's just go and have a quick check in the cockpit. So we're down through flight level 270. And we begin our weavy descent very shortly. No, fair enough. Congratulations on your Twitch reward. You've missed a complete lack of professionalism. You've missed 3 failed attempts at starting streaming something before we finally got this flight going. Everything that could go wrong on this flight has gone wrong on this flight. So this landing ain't gonna be good. But this aircraft will always have a super fond place in my heart, so if I can get it working well in MSFS 2024, then I'm keen to do that. Oh, we're doing predictions. Oh, I do have Volanta on. Yeah, okay, we can do predictions. I'm not even going to take offence at that after last time, although Volanta screwed me last time. I'm pretty sure we all agreed on that. Ironically, we left a glorious Luton, and Sicily is covered in cloud. One thing we didn't do on our arrival briefing was brief the go-around, so we should do that quickly. Go-around procedure is to turn as soon as possible onto a heading of 077 degrees, climb to 3,000 feet and hold at index. And we hold at index, well, that's confusingly, on... Okay, so we head into a left-hand hold at index if we need to. And we are reminded not to mistake Catania Sigonella for Catania Fontana Rossa. I used to be pretty decent at landing the fly-by-wire. But because it feels heavy and everything else feels light, I think that's what used to make me so bad at landing everything else. We should really turn the terrain on, given there's mountains everywhere around here. We're going through flight level 200, so now it's going to get the seatbelt signs on. So, crossing through Uxeter, our next constraint is we need to be 230 knots at Libro. We can also begin descending down to 6,000 feet. So let's go and set 6,000 feet. here. And we're going to keep an eye out on our left for the mountains soon. You can see it kind of bursting through the clouds there. Bring this down to 20 miles. I tell you what, that feels close. That looks close. I'm sure we're comfortably clear of the terrain. Let's just check. There's no traffic that we need to be aware of. According to that, that guy was miles ahead of us. According to that, he's... Okay, he's gone. He's just on approach. Should be alright. There's a couple of people ahead of us, but a fair way ahead. That's a better view out the window. None of those horrible markings now. Land, I mean, we're on descent, mate, so not long. Let me give you a slightly more precise. 17 minutes. So when we make the left turn after Libro, we should be looking straight towards Mount Etna, which is what I was really hoping we're going to get a good view of on this flight. And given it's 11,000 feet tall, high, and we're at 13,000 feet, so that's starting our slow down to 230 knots for Libro. What are there too many options for? Forgotten what I was chatting about. Ironically, the cloud might actually be a... Oh, there it is. That must be it peeping out the cloud there. Keep coming round. It's not quite the view I was hoping for. I won't lie. Should have gone to Mount Luton instead. There it is. Right, let's just check how we are on the charts. So, still 6,000 feet is our floor as we come across this bit. We can go to 5,000 feet after we cross Zucker. And then it's 5,000 feet all the way in until we establish the ILS. Do you know what? I'm going to put a realistic prediction in. Predicted myself at 375. Okay, so we can go down to 5,000 feet now. And let's put ourselves into QNH 1007. Imagine if they actually made them fly this. Catania traffic, EZ41 Romeo Yankee just crossing Real Pier, flight level 100. We're on the Exeter 1 Quebec arrival, expecting ILS runway 08, Catania traffic. Right, that's through 10,000, let's go and get our lights on. Oh, we're down to a maximum of 210 knots now, all the way. I'm gonna pop us into manual speed, set this to 210. I'm gonna go and pop us into approach phase. Surly, you are way too generous. Not a chance, mate. Vaguely ironic that I've predicted the worst performance of everybody. That was quite nice scenery. Catania looks pretty good in MSFS. Or Sicily, I should say. These are also, I noticed that the prediction response is based on Spoonie's performance, which is slightly harsh. And let's remember I haven't flown this aircraft in this sim or at all for about a year. So I think you're all being very generous. Put my ILS on. May as well just get ourselves down to 5,000 feet, really. Let's get ourselves down a bit quicker. Let's go in manual descent. That's the bluest water I've ever seen in MSFS. That's very turquoise. I like the revised. I like the revised stream elements. Thanks, Spoonie. Very nice. Also, predict minus 400 as a revision. Minorly offended, but kind of reasonable. Let's just check. I don't think we have any more speed constraints. No. So once we hit Nasum, we descend down 3,000 feet, and then ILS takes us in from 3,000. Oh, just remember you're going to need to change it back, Surly. Shockingly, most people have got me between 210 and 260, which is a bit nuts. So we're going to make our final turn now. God, it's not great weather. Maybe I need to pick some holiday makers up from Sicily and take them to Luton, where you can see such sights as nothing. See some biz jets though. Alright, let's start getting some of our setup done. So let's pop auto brake onto low. We can go and have a look at our approach checklist. So barrel is set, seatbelt signs are on, minimum is set, auto brake is set to low, engine mode selector we're going to keep as normal, approach checklist complete. I'm so used to flying on my old laptop where like the airport wouldn't load in until about a mile out. Like, water doesn't look right to me. Maybe because it's not sunny. You have more faith in me than Spoonie, that's kind. Spoonie flies a lot more than I do. Right, that's about where we can start our descent down to 3,000, so let's do that. What are we, we're 20 miles out still. In fact, let's just go put approach mode on. I'll start bringing us down a little bit on the speed as well. We go flaps 1. That's the airport we had to not mistake this for, I think, just on the right. And on the ground spoilers now. Cool, so that's glide slowdown localizer. That was mean, Kyle. Oh, I bet my autopilot disconnect isn't going to be set up properly, given the autopilot connect wasn't. This screen is also a bit bright. Let's turn it down a bit. Now we can actually see. There we go. Go have a look at our landing. We can't really look at the landing checklist yet. We're not ready for that. I'll tell you what, given the speed's getting away from us a bit, I'm just going to pop this into managed speed, and I'm going to bring us to, oh, I can't bring us to flaps 2. Okay, in that case, let's get a bit of speed break and just bring the speed down. There's the airfield. Right, now we can go flaps 2.
2,500.
We're really struggling to lose speed, so, oh no, it is coming down, but I might, let's pop the landing gear down, because I want to get that retracted. On the ground spoilers, we go flaps full, so that we can try and lose this speed. Right, now we can go and do our landing checklist. Decam memo, landing no blue. Cabin is ready. Landing checklist complete. Right, it's my aircraft.
1,000. 1,000.
Saying we're a bit low.
400. 400. 100 above. Minimum.
We're a bit right. Not done a good job of this.
50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 10. 5.
Oh dear.
Auto brake off.
No, we ain't gonna make that. Sod it. Alright, we'll keep rolling up to Foxtrot. No, don't stop. Only put a little bit of brake on. Well, it wasn't the worst ever. But it was pretty bad. Oh yeah, Catania's busy. Catania traffic. Easy 41 Romeo Yankee vacated runway 08. Catania traffic. Somebody's pushing back. We're gonna have to wait. Right. Retract the flaps. We're going to start up the APU. Disarm the ground spoilers. while we let that guy push back, let's work out which... Jeez, the brakes on this thing. Let's work out which stand it is we want. Parking stands, so we're going 327 it was. Let's see if GSX recognises it. Nope. Okay. I wonder if it thinks 27 is 327. That's probably asking too much. Okay. I don't know. Fine. We won't worry about GSX. Hey, Spoonie said that he looked good. I'm not taking that. Wasn't that bad. We just went a little bit off centre and had to correct it. And then over flared? No, we flared too early. We were going to float and then we overcorrected. In my defence, I literally get a flight in once a fortnight and I haven't flown this for a year, so I ain't taking that. Has anybody gone on Heathrow? No, Heathrow's still quiet, so if I can get in quickly, I'll... Shall we just park here? Oh no, he's off. That's fine. And Kyle, you don't fly on VATSIM, so you don't get to comment. If you did. If you didn't, thanks. Trust me, I didn't think we were going to get one either. Definitely counting this as my most stressful flight. Don't think I've been... No, I started enjoying it towards the end of the cruise, right. The other thing I forgot to do was set up the toggle to be able to look right, so we're going to have to... What the hell was that? Use the external view to find our way onto stand. So let's just slow ourselves down a bit. So we're going up to that far one. We're going... I don't know if that actually is a stand. I think we're going on this one. So let's try starting our turn about here. Don't want to be doing this at 9 knots, thank you. Too early. Sod it. That'll do. Right. Let's quickly go. I'll get the APU going. I can probably I'll end the flight. Right. Who predicted? Who predicted 475 feet per minute? Because you won. Right. I think my sim's just crashed or frozen as well.